Let me summarize for you just how unaffordable it's become for the average American to buy a house in the United States. The average household income in the United States is $80,000 a year. And a financial advisor recommends that you spend only 25% of your after-tax income on your housing budget. Your after-tax income, if you make $80,000 a year, is $60,000. And if you were to take 25% of that on a monthly basis standpoint, your monthly mortgage payment should be no more than $1,250 per month. A $1,250 per month mortgage budget only affords you a $175,000 home. But the average home price here in America is $420,000. So the average household in America can only afford a $175,000 home, but the average home price is $420,000. That, simply put, is the entire issue that Americans are dealing with right now. Do not let anybody ever tell you that right now is the right time to buy. The right time to buy a house is when you can afford it, and that's it. And if you can't afford it, that's totally fine. Renting is okay. I'm a realtor saying that. Way too many realtors out there are trying to tell you that right now is the right time to buy. It is a realtor's job to help you buy or sell your house when you decide it's the right time. But it is not a realtor's job to tell you when that right time is.
The housing market has become so unaffordable for most Americans over the past 4 years, and I want to show you what happened. In February of 2020, the average house in this country was $275,000. If you put a 10% down payment and got a 3.52% interest rate, your principal and interest was $1,114 plus $500 for property tax and insurance, puts your payment out the door at $1,614. The average American only needed about $50,000 in a salary with very little debt to qualify for the average home in America. That was awesome, the American dream. Now in February of 2022, the average home went up to about $350,000. 10% down, but the interest rates were still 3.73%. So principal and interest was $1,455 plus about $600 for property tax and homeowner insurance. Put your payment out the door at $2,055. So you needed about $65,000 in a salary with very little debt to qualify. Still very doable. Now let's fast forward to current day, February 2024. Home prices have shot up to $415,000, 10% down payment. Interest rates are 6.75%, $2,423 principal and interest, $700 for property tax and homeowners insurance. Now you're looking at $3,123. So now you need about $95,000 to qualify if you have very little debt. So if you look at the down payments over the year, it's gone up only about $14,000, $15,000, which is a lot, but also doable in 4 years. But what really pinched Americans is how many individuals went from $50,000 to almost $100,000 in salary in just 4 years. That's why so many Americans can't afford a home right now.
One of the biggest emergencies that America is facing today is that almost half of the renters in the United States cannot actually afford their rent. Ironically, this comes at a time when they are now trying to criminalize homelessness, so that when these people inevitably lose their rental properties and have nowhere to go, they will face time in jail. And we all know that time in jail leads to free labor for this country. So it's more than a little suspicious that nothing has been done about this issue in the last 5 to 10 years. It has been increasing because there has been zero regulation put into place on housing in this country, and landlords are allowed to just increase prices as much as they want to, whenever they want to, with no excuse whatsoever, or the lamest excuse you've ever heard in your entire life. Half of the renters in the United States are paying more than 30% of their income, and half of those, so 25% of the renters in the United States, are paying more than 50% of what they make. Some of these people, after they've paid their bills, have nothing left over at all, don't have money for food. And before you blame these people, there is also no regulation around wage increases. The cost of living has continued to go up and up and up. The value of the dollar has gone down and down and down, and we have not seen true wage increases in 70 years. So this is going to become a problem for every single person in this country, even the wealthy, because at some point, no one will buy whatever the fuck you're selling.